Hey there, YouTuber. So I want to talk to you all about getting up and running with 13th gen Intel CPUs. Now, unless you are buying a Z790, you may require a BIOS update to your motherboard. There's a good chance that the motherboards that are shipping from Amazon, from Best Buy, from eBay have out-of-date BIOSes. If your BIOS is too old, then good chance 13th gen Intel CPU will not run. Alright, so as you are shopping for a motherboard, there's certain things that you might want to look for. And if you have a 12th gen CPU, update the BIOS now while you can before you make the jump to 13th. Okay, so what are the alternatives, folks? Well, buying a motherboard that has the capability to update the BIOS without having the CPU installed is the way to go in this case. So Asus has something called USB BIOS flashback. And if we look at Gigabyte, let's look at this cheap one first. Even their one of their crappiest motherboards has what's called QFlash Plus Update BIOS without installing CPU, memory, and graphics card. On this motherboard, you should see a little button somewhere to do the BIOS update. There it is right there. Can't tell which one it is, but one of these two is the BIOS update button. All right. Now, one of the ones that we currently have is the actually we don't have this one, but this is the Z690 gaming motherboard. This also has QFlash Plus Update BIOS without installing CPU, memory, and graphics card. And you see specific spot to put your BIOS on your USB thumb drive. And then on the motherboard right there, folks, you can see the little button that you're going to end up pressing. Now, motherboard doesn't have any of these things. What are your alternatives? Well, find somebody that has a 12th gen CPU that can help you out. I don't know really of any services. I thought at one time of doing that. The other aspect is to go and buy a cheap 12th gen CPU such as the Intel Cellphone G690 6900. Right around this time, these things become more valuable. You'll see at some point they'll drop way down in price, but right now, 60 bucks on Amazon and eBay. You could probably buy one used. If you want to wait till this comes from China, $55. So really, those are your alternatives. You use this CPU to update the BIOS for the ones that don't allow you to use the other methods. Now, sometimes these methods, if you're not following the directions, they may not work, and you will be forced to buy the CPU if you don't have, I'll say, either the patience or the ability to follow directions, right? But yeah, folks, those are your basically your alternatives to getting the BIOS updated. I'm sure there's probably some tech stores out there you could drop your computer off and get it updated through them. If they, obviously have multiple CPUs, they probably could hook somebody up. Of course, it's not going to be free. And you obviously might have friends that have a 12th gen CPU that may want to help you out. And of course, every time you do pull a CPU out of your socket, you're risking damage. So if you don't know what you're doing, figure that is another aspect that might be painful for you. Now, I really don't talk about it, but Z690 versus Z790. In this case, folks, it may be worth spending that extra money to get the Z790 over the Z690, just for that one aspect of knowing that your BIOS is ready to go for 13th gen. All right, folks, thanks for checking out the video. Please like, please subscribe. Thank you.